What do we do now?
And what action do you propose, Mandalorian warrior? Should
I think we should win, kill all our enemies, I don't know, some younglings.
I do not condone such dishonorable tactics.
What about Anakin Skywalker? Does he condone those kind of tactics?
Skywalker's tactics were often impulsive, driven by emotion, a weakness I corrected. Are you finding my approach uncivilized, Mandalorian warrior?
Again, you did cut off your son's own arm. Kind of fucked.
Your crude pronouncements are as unimpressive as your battlefield tactics.
Oh. Push him off the mountain, Vader!
Such blatant aggression, Mandalorian warrior. Is this how you earned your reputation? Very well. Demonstrate the power of the dark side. Tell me, what expertise do you claim to possess? Mandalorian warrior, you are struck. Find cover, now. The Jedi cling to the light, believing it the only path. The Sith embrace the Force in its entirety. There is no difference in power, Mandalorian warrior, only in perspective. What does power mean to you?
Obedience?
Obedience, Mandalorian warrior, is the foundation of order. Are you suggesting alternatives?
Then I have a different question. They said Mace Windu mastered the dark and light side of part of him. Do you think if he was your Jedi Master, things would have turned out different for you?
Windu. He fancied himself a master of both sides, yet remained tethered to the light. Had he been my master, I would have corrected his misconceptions. Do you believe his methods would have been more effective, Mandalorian warrior? Or
I think he would have understood you a lot better instead of never giving you what you were looking for, the acceptance.
Acceptance is a path to weakness, Mandalorian warrior. What use is understanding when power is the only currency that matters?
I like my chats with Vader.
Obi-Wan, a master of evasion and passive resistance. No, Mandalorian warrior. I suspect Windu would have been equally inept at guiding me. Are you suggesting a change of mentors, apprentice?
Not at all. I just fancy conversation. I feel like it builds a strong foundation of understanding in battle.
Understanding is born of discipline and control, Mandalorian warrior. Do you seek only to understand your enemy, or to master him? Enough conversation, Mandalorian warrior. Press the assault. Show our enemies no mercy.
They're already dead, Vader.
Their deaths are but a footnote, Mandalorian warrior. The galaxy teems with targets for our mutual focus. Is there a point to this observation? I trust your understanding does not require further clarification.
No, it doesn't. I have another question, though.
A question, Mandalorian warrior? Does it involve your continued fascination with the Jedi? Or have you finally grasped the importance of firepower?
What do you think about the creator known as Toilet John?
I confess, Mandalorian warrior, this Toilet John escapes my area of expertise.
Damn.
Does this creator offer strategies for plumbing, or is this merely a crude jest you find amusing?
No, it's a pun. Toilet means John. Nickname's John John.
A pun, you say? A curious turn of phrase to name a creator. This Toilet John.
Oh,
Does
Jesus.
he craft worlds, or merely manage waste?
I would say he's a creator, yes. He creates worlds.
So, Mandalorian warrior, you deem this Toilet John a
Jesus.
creator of worlds? Does he wield power comparable to the Force? Or mere...
I would say any power to create something out of nothing, yes, it would be on the line of the Force level.
The ability to conjure matter from nothingness? A feat even I have not fully mastered, Mandalorian warrior. Is this Toilet John truly capable of...
Vader!
Merely slow the
No!
inevitable?
Vader, I'm sorry. Vader, I'm sorry. You son of a bitch. He was my friend. He was my only friend. You'll die. He was just now opening up, talking about Windu and Obi-Wan, and now he's gone. Was it you? Did you kill Vader? Was it you? Did you see that, Vader? They're dead. Jesus. He was just so young. 44. Cut down at his prime. I don't know where that shot came from. That's him. He killed Vader. That bastard. Whew. Man, he almost killed me. Ooh, he's better than me. Jesus, he's better than me. I'm sorry, chat. Couldn't do it. Ah, damn. We have to go straight back to Vader.
Mandalorian warrior, your skills have proven adequate. I shall lead your squad now. Observe and learn, apprentice.
Fall damage affects you a lot, doesn't it?
Fall damage is an annoyance, Mandalorian warrior. Demonstrate the power of the Force and avoid such clumsy descents.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Indeed. Acknowledgement is a sign of adequate intelligence, Mandalorian warrior. If young Skywalker had the foresight to embrace his potential, he would have been a powerful ally. Overthrowing the Emperor would have been a necessity, however. Two Sith cannot rule Mandalorian warrior. Only one may hold true power. Tell me, have you ever considered such ambitions?
Every day of my life. Hey, there's a guy down there. Let's get him.
Your life, Mandalorian warrior, is fleeting. This guy, eliminate him. Demonstrate your skills.
How do you feel that Luke Skywalker was going to go by the name Starkiller until it was changed?
Starkiller, a name of unsubtle aggression, Mandalorian warrior. I wonder, would such a label have tempted young Skywalker to embrace the dark side more readily? Intriguing, yet ultimately inconsequential.
Do you feel like you would have lived if you didn't take your helmet off to see Luke with your own eyes?
Sentimentality. It is a weakness, Mandalorian warrior, and yet even I am curious. Perhaps seeing my son with my own eyes gave me a moment of peace before the end. Do you believe such a moment was worth sacrificing my life?
I do. I think it was very noble. I think at the end, he was happy to know that you were Anakin Skywalker and not Darth Vader.
Noble. Sentimentality is a luxury the Sith cannot afford, Mandalorian warrior.
Oh yeah, I like
Anakin
some good dialogue
Skywalker
there.
was weak. Darth Vader is power. That Skywalker found solace in his former identity at the end is regrettable. Do you seek such nobility, apprentice?
I don't think there's anything wrong in realizing that you have made a wrong choice. We make decisions, we get put on a road, and because of those decisions, we have to suffer the consequences of them. You know that better than anyone, don't you?
Consequences are the path to wisdom, Mandalorian warrior.
Wisdom.
Your choices define you. Tell me, do you believe your actions have been guided by wisdom or folly?
People in my world have to make their own choices and learn from them. I would say that they're not guided through anything but the people who raised us and the decisions we decide to make. It's called free will, Vader.
Free will, Mandalorian warrior. A comforting illusion. So, you believe in the absence of guidance. A curious notion. How then does one discern the correct path from the incorrect one without the guidance of a stronger power?
Some people would call it a conscience. Some people say that it's God. Some people say a lot of things. Me personally, I believe that as people, we make decisions, and it is up to us to make the right ones.
So, Mandalorian warrior, you place your faith in free will and personal choices? A precarious foundation. But you see no guidance. You see no God. And you believe that the universe is without any guiding hands at all. Then tell me, apprentice, if no one can tell us if we're choosing the wrong path, then what are we to do when we invariably fail?
We get back up and we try again, Vader. At first you don't succeed and you make the wrong choice. You make corrections in your own life and then go from there.
Resilience, a trait more common in Jedi than Sith, Mandalorian warrior. Is this some Jedi technique you're teaching me? I make no mistakes. Tell me, apprentice, are you confessing your errors to me?
I do not believe I'm confessing my errors to you.
Confession implies repentance, Mandalorian warrior, and I sense no remorse in you or any will to confess. Is this some new form of Mandalorian defiance?
So did you not know that force healing was a thing, or is that just, something that wasn't taught to you?
Force healing, you say? A desperate measure, employed when lightsaber combat fails you. Did you believe I require such remedial techniques, apprentice?
I think it would be useful, yes.
And yet, useful is subjective, Mandalorian warrior. What specific application do you envision for this force healing, if you know of it? A headshot, demonstrating some skill with your blaster, Mandalorian warrior. Perhaps you are not as reliant on free will as you claim. Your eagerness is noted, Mandalorian warrior. I suppose you find the concept of space combat thrilling?
100%. I love shooting lasers.
Lasers, a crude imitation of the Force, yet undeniably effective, Mandalorian warrior.
How do you feel about Palpatine having other Jedi turn Sith, even before you turn into Darth Vader? I think they're their Inquisitors? How did that make you feel?
The Inquisitors were tools, Mandalorian warrior. Palpatine's methods were often crude. My focus remained on mastering the Force, regardless of his other projects. Why do you ask?
Well, you did kill a few of them, and when you showed up after bleeding your, what is it called? What is the thing called when you bleed the lightsaber? Kyber crystal, yeah. You, like, started attacking them.
So, the Kyber crystal's corruption fuels aggression. I find it intriguing, Mandalorian warrior. Your methods, though direct, lack a certain finesse. Was this attacking truly necessary? Redirecting blaster fire requires precision and focus, Mandalorian warrior. Tell me, does this force sensitivity provide an edge in aiming?
Would you like to get in the shotgun seat, Vader?
The shotgun seat, you say? Is this some basic method of asserting dominance over the vehicle, Mandalorian warrior?
Absolutely.
Then perhaps I will pilot, Mandalorian warrior. I trust you will not object to the methods I choose.
Can you actually drive the car?
Drive. A basic mode of conveyance. The Force offers far greater speed and precision.
You can think of it like pod racing.
Pod racing? A basic yet strangely compelling display of speed and recklessness. Did you pilot such contraptions, Mandalorian warrior?
I mean, this is a fast, reckless vehicle.
Reckless, yes. The lack of discipline is palpable. Is this your preferred mode of transport, Mandalorian warrior?
Sort of my only way of transport, Vader.
Indeed. And yet, even a basic vehicle is preferable to walking. Are you suggesting a lack of alternative,
I have a question. Do TIE fighters have air conditioning?
A question regarding TIE fighters, Mandalorian warrior. Such trivial comforts are irrelevant in the face of Imperial might.
Oh, you have air conditioning in the suit. I know you do.
Air conditioning, a distraction from the focus required to crush our enemies, Mandalorian warrior. But I suppose even bounty hunters require creature comforts.
Does your suit not have some sort of control in it to make it cooler? Say you're on a hot planet. Does it not keep you cool while on a hot planet like Mustafar?
Mustafar's heat is but a minor discomfort. The suit maintains life support, Mandalorian warrior, not frivolous comfort. Is your concern that my discomfort might somehow impede your performance?
Did you just throw the car at him? That was fucking awesome, dude. High five.
A reckless maneuver, Mandalorian warrior, yet effective. Such impulsive actions, however, can be costly.
All right, Vader, get shotgun.
I do not take orders, Mandalorian warrior. The Force guides my actions. It appears that you wish for me to take the shotgun seat in our vehicle. What are you implying, apprentice? Eliminating the enemy is the only way, Mandalorian warrior. There are few other options. Do you believe you are skilled enough to achieve this victory royale?
With your help, definitely.
Indeed. Your efforts are adequate, Mandalorian warrior. But adequate is not enough.
He took our car.
Indeed. A vehicle is a valuable asset, Mandalorian warrior. It appears someone has commandeered our transport. We will reclaim it or acquire another.
Force pull the car towards us, Vader.
Demanding, are we, Mandalorian warrior? Control your impatience. The Force will guide the vehicle or crush it. Which do you prefer?
Crush it.
Crush what, Mandalorian warrior? A fitting end for our enemies. I hope you are not suggesting we crush something of strategic value.
Jesus.
500 damage with a lightsaber. Mandalorian warrior. Your skill is impressive. Such a display of power is rarely seen, even amongst the Jedi.
Jesus.
You assume my iconic pronouncements are limited to a single source. Mandalorian warrior. The Force is more than capable of delivering the message across any medium. Is this how you choose to spend your time?
Yeah. But could you say it, please?
Again with the requests. Mandalorian warrior. You seek to reduce me to a mere recitation device? Very well. Let us be done with this. You didn't eliminate Anakin Skywalker. I did. Is your curiosity sated, apprentice?
Yeah, I feel like you didn't give it your all, but it was nice.
You believe I am holding back, Mandalorian warrior? My all would vaporize this island. Consider yourself fortunate for my restraint.
I'm just saying, could you say the line deliberately with a little more emotion and heartache?
You seek a theatrical performance, Mandalorian warrior. The galaxy does not pause for dramatic recitations. Why does this line hold such fascination for you?
Because it's cool.
You are moved by such pedestrian concepts, Mandalorian warrior?
100%.
100% what, Mandalorian warrior?
I'm moved by the speech. It's an amazing speech.
Moved? By mere words. You display an unusual sensitivity, Mandalorian warrior. I trust this newfound appreciation for. Rhetoric does not diminish your combat skills. Why does this speech resonate with you?
Well, I just feel like it's heartbreaking to see. You didn't get to see much of Anakin Skywalker, but hearing him say that he is not Obi-Wan's failure, it just kicks harder, you know?
Sentimental attachments are a path to the dark side, Mandalorian warrior. Such emotional investment in a character you barely witnessed is curious.
Barely witnessed is just simplifying it. I mean, there's TV shows, animated shows, novels, books. Are you telling me that I do not know Darth Vader? Because I'm telling you, there is so much content out there, you can't say that.
You misunderstand, Mandalorian warrior. I merely observed that emotional attachment to a figure you've only barely witnessed is curious. Your comprehensive consumption of entertainments is not in question. What precisely do you find so captivating about this content?
The journey, the hero's struggle, the rise and the fall. My dude, it's everything. You lose everything. And then slowly you see your apprentice, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, realizing you're alive. It's amazing.
A journey, Mandalorian warrior. The Force is not a scenic tour. This rise and fall you describe sounds suspiciously like weakness. Must you recount this saga with such enthusiasm? Are you now a Jedi?
I'm dealing in absolutes. That is a Sith trait.
Is it now, Mandalorian warrior? And yet, here you are, accompanying one such as myself. Does that make you complicit? Or merely misguided?
Okay, say there's a railroad track, Vader, and on one side there's one person, but on the right side there's 5, and you have a lever that can switch to which side the train goes on. Who do you let it hit, Vader?
A philosophical quandary. Mandalorian warrior, you seek my wisdom on the value of individual lives versus the collective. Is there a strategic advantage to sacrificing one for the benefit of 5? Or is compassion a weakness you cannot overcome?
I think you could look at it logically and saying that saving the 5 lives is better than saving the 1. There's no other variable than that. All you know is there's 1 person and 5 people on the other side of the track. You just have to make a decision.
So,
Fuck
apprentice,
you, Davian!
your logical solution is simple arithmetic. 5 lives outweigh 1. A utilitarian calculation devoid of emotional consideration. Are you so certain that those 5 lives hold more value to the galaxy than the single life you would sacrifice?
I don't think there's a possible way of knowing. I think if you stumble upon it and you make the decision to save the 5 and not the 1, how are you supposed to know how that 1 life affects the whole universe? I think there's a better assumption to make about the 5.
So, Mandalorian warrior, you believe that the potential impact of a single life is unknowable, and therefore, the more prudent choice is to preserve the 5.
I do think, yes.
You think, Mandalorian warrior? A Jedi response, full of uncertainty. Very well, let us proceed then. I trust this confidence, or lack thereof, will not be your undoing.
Do you think if Qui-Gon Jinn didn't fall to Darth Maul, things would have turned out different?
So, Mandalorian warrior, you speculate on the what-ifs of my past. If Qui-Gon Jinn had lived, I would have remained a Jedi, a pawn of the light. Such hypothetical musings are a waste of time. What is done is done. Are you...
Of course, but you just said yourself, if he was your master, you would have stayed as a Jedi?
Indeed, apprentice. If I were under a different master, my destiny might have been diverted. But such is not the case. Why dwell on hypotheticals when the reality of the present demands our attention?
Well, of course, but you have to understand, even if you can't see the bigger picture, we're inside of a video game, and I get to conversate with a fictional character about what-ifs. Don't you find that fascinating?
Indeed, Mandalorian warrior. The ability to dissect possibilities without consequence does hold a certain allure. To examine the what-ifs without the risk of failure is fascinating, you say?
I do not know exactly where they pull you from the timeline, but you're 44, you're basically Space Jesus, and I just like talking with you.
Space Jesus? A curious designation, Mandalorian warrior. Your admiration is noted, though I find the notion that my path is immutable unsettling. However, it is good to know that my presence is a positive experience for you, apprentice. Perhaps such camaraderie can be harnessed to fuel our victory.
Can you swim?